Hey everybody, it's Andrew Tibbs. Welcome back to My Horror. I'm a little sad right now. What's the day anyways? It's November 10th, which means Halloween is over. Well, I don't know. It's still fall. You can still watch Halloween movies, but my favorite time of the year is gone. And so I took down my Halloween decorations today, and in my mind it felt like I was breaking up with I don't want to say girlfriend. I'm a happily married man, but I was breaking up with a friend or something. Or I was burying a dog. I don't know, something sad. But I watched a lot of movies this Halloween, and so I neglected to. I was gonna have a list of all the different movies I watched, and there was a lot of them. So I'll do that sooner or later. Maybe I'll post it in the link. But yeah, watched a lot of movies this time around, and a lot of stuff has happened, obviously, since our last video, per usual. I think I say that every single time I do a video, so, whatever that means. But I'll kind of give you guys a lowdown of what we've done. As a family, so Carly, Declan, Hazel, what's my other kid? Carly, Declan, Hazel, Lachlan, and I, we went to the Horror Hound Festival up in Indianapolis. And we met a few cool people. We met Lynn Shay from Insidious. Here's a picture of her. And we all dressed up. The kids, they didn't dress up for too long because it's, when you have that many people in that, small of a space, it gets really hot. But Declan was Jason Voorhees. Hazel was Ghostface from Scream. Lockie was Freddy. No, Chucky. And then Carly and I were the Torrances. And so here's a little picture you can see. But Lynn Shay she was a really cool lady. I'm always nervous to meet celebrities because I'm afraid they're going to turn out to be either major douches or something. They're just not going to turn out to be what I think they are. But she was really nice, and she wanted to hold Hazel, but Hazel was nervous. You can't blame her. She saw like a 30 Pennywises walking around the place, and so of course she's nervous. But Lynn Shay was really cool, really good sport about the whole thing, and the lady who stars as the nun was also really cool. I got her autograph. It's over there somewhere, but that was a lot of fun. Definitely a good experience. Some movies that I saw, before I get to the main one, which is Dr. Sleep, which I'm freaking excited about. Well, I'm still excited about it. I just saw it yesterday, but I'm still happy. Some of the things I've been watching, I went ahead and saw 3 from Hell, Rob Zombie's new movie. His movies, I don't know, he has a very distinct style. It's odd because he is not my ideal taste of kind of movies I would ever watch. He always seems like he's trying to go too hardcore just for the sake of going hardcore. Now, the violence and the gore and everything I love, but just the rough and tough language that some of the characters use, I could care less for. But stylistically, this movie was awesome. I mean, what's her name? Sherry Moon Zombie. Her dressed up in all that get up throughout the whole movie is actually kind of cool. So, I'm a sucker for that theatrical stuff. So, another one I saw, Banana Splits, the movie. Apparently, this is based off of an old children's TV show. This is not a children's TV show. I was like, holy crap! I knew it wasn't a kids' TV show. I'm not a weirdo. I'm not going to buy this and watch it anyways. But I bought it. It was cheap at Walmart, and the violence is actually really cool. Apparently, the people who made this were going to make a Five Nights at Freddy's movie, but that kind of fell through the cracks. But they tackled similar characters and did this. So really, really kind of fun. Banana Splits. And the last 2 movies before we get to the main one. Well, it's not really a movie, but I've been watching this Holliston TV show. With Adam Green and Joe Lynch. They're 2 horror film directors, 2 of my favorites, actually. Joe Lynch has directed Mayhem, and Adam Green has done, the Hatchet franchise. So really cool, but it's basically The Big Bang Theory, only meant for horror fans, or heavy metal, if you like that much. It has the Dave Brockie from Guar. He's the imaginary friend. And then it has Dee Snider from Twisted Sister, who's Joe and Adam's manager for the cable company they work at. It's actually kind of funny. You could tell that these people didn't know what they were doing with this show for the first little bit, but once you got to the second season, I actually laughed a lot. So definitely the standout lady is, what's her name? It's the girlfriend, Laura Ortiz. She's funny, so check her out. Last one, just finished watching it with my son. It reminds me of the Goosebumps movie, but which I like the Goosebumps movie, so it's fine. But this one's a little bit for more older kids. I read the books as a kid as well, loved them. Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark. Holy crap, this is a good movie. It has some images, like look at the scarecrow. Forgot what his name is, but it's creepy enough. I remember some of the stories, like Where's My Toe? I remember Harold the Scarecrow, and then there's, I can't remember, this one with this big lady. She appears in the movie, but this big lady that kind of marches towards you from the end of a hallway. Twice as creepy as the Shining twins will ever be, and she like swallows up the kid in her arms, and so, it's a good movie, so. Halloween may be over, but it's still fall, so I'm still diving headfirst into all this stuff. So yeah, that's some of what I've been doing. Now, I went yesterday. I tried to get someone to go with me, but everyone was busy. I went to go see Dr. Sleep. I have not read the novel. I've read the first couple chapters on audiobook. So I guess I didn't read it, but and I liked what I heard so far. I just need to get back to finishing it. But this is a movie directed by Mike Flanagan, and it is the sequel to Stephen King's The Shining. It's very interesting how they went about working with this movie. It's no news to anyone that Stephen King is not a fan of Stanley Kubrick's The Shining, which is widely considered by many people to be one of the best horror films ever made, if not the best, horror epic. And so it's just ironic enough that the king of horror, Stephen King, doesn't like it. So, and he has his reasons. Kubrick is a genius of a filmmaker, but he took a lot of liberties from the novel and created his own thing, which is very, very good. It's just not what Stephen King had an idea for. And so when they made Dr. Sleep, you're faced with a conundrum. You want to be loyal to the Stephen King book, Dr. Sleep, which was a huge bestseller. Yet at the same time, everyone knows The Shining. Everyone knows the, hey, here's Johnny, like, kind of stuff. And the iconic axe, which was not in the book, is actually a croquet mallet. But in the movie, he holds an axe and he, like, goes at people with it. You have to include that stuff because it's iconic. And if you're trying to make a sequel to the book, you can't ignore that movie. Like, no offense, I thought the miniseries for The Shining was perfect. I loved it a lot. But I'm pretty alone in that love. A lot of people go for the movie, and so you have to bridge both worlds. And I think that's what Mike Flanagan, by the way, he's the guy that directed The Haunting of Hill House, which, creepy. That's what Mike Flanagan was trying to do. He's trying to bridge the Kubrick film that he had made with The Shining and kind of bridge it with the Stephen King's canon in the Shining series. And he does this with little things. The axe stays. He does not use a croquet mallet. So the axe stays, the wardrobe, the location, so the Timberline Lodge in Washington, or is it Portland? I think it's Portland. That stays there. Location-wise, all the stuff stays the same. He even keeps room 237 as the room that's like evil in the hotel that like sparks everything. So I think it's a good thing he kept all that stuff. And Stephen King himself has said that a lot of the things that he didn't like about The Shining when it came out, he had a lot of beef with it. He says that those things were redeemed. He actually has a far better a far more positive view on what The Shining, the Stanley Kubrick film, was now that Dr. Sleep has been made, because he kept the story really, to the point to what Stephen King wanted, yet included elements from Kubrick's film, so he kind of brought them both together, so I respect him for that. And now what the movie is about, well, first of all, it stars Ewan McGregor, or otherwise known as Louis C.K.'s secret lover. Really, he's not. Go watch that stand-up comedy with Louis C.K. where he talks about Ewan McGregor. You won't regret it. Rebecca Ferguson, she stars as the villain of Doctor Sleep called Rose the Hat, and then Kylie Curran, and she stars as Abra. Now, this story really picks up like where it left off in The Shining. You know, they escape the Overlook Hotel. Danny, he is talking to Halloran, you know, the African American gentleman who schools him on what The Shining is. You know, because Danny's still being haunted. He's being haunted by that creepy, decrepit woman in room 237, and she shows up in his bathroom, in his house, and stuff like that. And it is creepy beyond all reason. So, like, Halloran teaches him how to lock those things away, like, to almost create, like, a box in his mind where he, like, takes the woman and he shoves her in, locks it, and she'll never bother him again. And he does that slowly, like, to every creature, the twins, the weird guy that had the blood coming down the face, the lady in room 237. He locks them all up so that they won't bother him anymore. And even though he's out of the Overlook, that stuff is done. He still is haunted, and he struggles with that, you know, up until his, you know, adult life, like when he's up in his, like, I think 40s. And so he basically goes through a child acting. He mirrors a child actor's nightmare, you know, where everything goes off the deep end later on. But and how he suppresses The Shining because he doesn't want anything to do with that. He drinks and he becomes an alcoholic, and so he becomes an alcoholic. He struggles with that. You want to join me, honey? Sorry. Hazel's going to join us. We're talking about alcoholics. And so, but that's how he gets rid of the ability. And eventually, you know, he struggles so hard with the addiction, he runs into a friend named Billy who not only gets him a job, but he helps him with Alcoholics Anonymous. And that's where things really start looking up for him. He gets a job working as, like, he works at some sort of nursing home, but when he's there, he notices that when people are, you know, he notices this cat going into people's rooms. And when this cat goes in rooms, he finds out that the cat has some ability to sense when people are about to die. And he begins using his shining again to help ease them to pass on, basically. And that's how he gets the name of Dr. Sleep, which, you know, is the name of the novel. So I thought that was really, really cool. You know, not only did he clean up, but he used his shining gift to help other people. So Danny, and that's something you see throughout the movie. The villains, the hotel does play. What the heck was that? The hotel does play a role in this movie, but the real villains is Rose the Hat, and she's a part of this kind of cult known as the True Knot. And what they do is they prolong their life and they become almost immortal people by finding other individuals out there who have the shine, and they eat them. Basically, when you torture someone who has the shine, eventually this mist comes out of their mouth, and they found out if they eat that makes them almost immortal. And so and I'm almost done here, I just have to get this last part in. In the middle of the movie, you find out about this girl named Abra, you know, and she starts contacting Danny. I can't remember exactly how it starts. I think she just senses that there's someone out there who has the shining like her, you know, and this is while Danny's cleaning up. But the shining, what was that? Yeah, sorry. Okay, Hazel, can you go to Mom? But he starts contacting her, and the True Knot, so Rose the Hat and the True Knot, they catch wind of this Abra girl, because apparently her shining is twice as strong as Danny's ever was. And so it becomes this thing where, you know, she reaches out to Danny for help. He helps her to both fight and escape the True Knot people. And they are creepy as can be. There's one scene, and I think when they eat up an individual's shining, they get some of those powers themselves. And so there's one scene where Rose the Hat is like looking to find out where Abra lives, you know, and they're on opposite ends of the country, so she inhales some of the shining that's in a container and travels like almost like, you know, Peter Pan and Hook, like flying in the clouds, like out-of-body experience to go to where Abra lives, and it is creepy and it is awesome. I was really surprised how well this movie was made. Haunting of Hill House was a wonderful film. And film. Well, it is kind of film. It's a series. But that director, he brought that, slow burn, no real jump scares, that slow burn stuff, and brought it to The Shining, and it was awesome. There is one scene, last thing, and then I'll end, but when Danny, he has to wake up the Overlook Hotel at one point. He tells Abra to stay in the car. He walks in, and as he walks in, no jump scares, but I'm getting chills now just talking about it. No jump scares, but he walks in, and then slowly the candles start flickering, or the lights start flickering, and they turn on. He's waking up the hotel. The hotel is hungry. The hotel and actually the True Knot people are the exact same. The hotel wants to eat an individual who has the Shining and wants to absorb that power, whereas the True Knot, they're just people coming after the individuals with the Shining so they can do the same thing. Very well made. I really liked it, and the acting was amazing. Ewan McGregor is always good. Rose the Hat Lady was spot on, perfect. I won't lie though, I thought the girl, the little African American girl, Kylie Curran, who stars as Abra, best part of the whole movie. Every scene she was in stole the shot, and I liked it also because the movie it wasn't just banking on nostalgia for The Shining. It created something its own. And so, go see Dr. Sleep, everybody. Watch this first, just to refresh yourselves, but then go watch Dr. Sleep. Peace out.